Hello friends, welcome back to Fix It With Beer. We've got another exciting project on the 2012 GMC 1500. We're gonna do the front shocks. For those of you watching, keeping up with the game here, last weekend we did the rear shocks. It went so smooth and so easy, and it's actually running better. I mean, it rides better. You can tell the difference. First of all, Fixing It With Beer, Sunday afternoon, Coors Light. Thanks to Pete and the boys up there in Golden, Colorado. Appreciate your work. And ladies, too. The people. Thanks to the good folks up in Golden, Colorado. I appreciate your hard work. Okay, friends. Safety third. We got the wheels chalked back there. We're set to go. Make sure this thing doesn't go rolling. I am on just a little bit of an incline where I've got it here, so we want to make sure we got that done. We're going to take the jack down to the main cross member under the motor and get it jacked up. Jack stands for safety. All right, we're going to take the wheels off. The wheels on your truck are most likely 22 millimeter. This here is the new chrome shatterproof for impact. So brand new feature, they're selling that at Home Depot. That's a joke because they don't really make shatterproof chrome ones. You're supposed to use the non-chrome ones. For those of you who are extra safety conscious, here's the no shatter non-chrome 7/8. 7/8 is the same as 22 millimeters. Just so you know. Okay guys, so here you can see that we got our little boot here on this unit is coming. It's obviously been leaking. It's leaking all down here. This thing's a mess. It should have been replaced a long time ago. First thing we're gonna do is get rid of this little sway bar connector right here. When you look up these kits, there's a lot of these kits that come with them. I had to replace these because these came apart about a year ago, so I didn't buy that. But this, we're just gonna, you kind of just hold this top nut. It's big enough. And if you had to, you could put some kind of channel lock or something on it. Yeah, we're definitely gonna get the electric one on the other side. Forgot how long this thing was. Yeah, we gotta get the other side to really get it out. All right, friends, we're on the other side. It's fighting me a little bit. I had to go get the New Orleans wrench out here. This little nut on the top, and each one of these are a little bit different, but this one just didn't want to break loose. This one is not wanting to let me go. The top of this one was giving me trouble on this side. It was so easy and smooth on the other side. Had to go get the old vice grip on it. Dang, it's still not trying to come off. I'm thinking about putting the impact on it. I know it's not the right stuff, but we'll put a little bit of stuff on it. Little WD-40 went a long ways there. Sympathize with those of you up north dealing with this stuff all the time. Yeah, look at that. There's quite a bit of rust in there. Okay, now that we got that loose, you'll see, guys, this can kind of flop up and we can knock the other side down, and hopefully we'll find all the parts and where they went. The way I'm going to do this is I am going to put a 15 millimeter box wrench on the top here, and then I'm going to go to the bottom with a 15-inch socket, and I'm going to see if this thing is going to come loose. I was making fun of you guys with the WD-40, but all right. So we were able to cheat a little bit. You see, hey, even in Texas, we got some nasty corrosion here, folks. Nasty, nasty Texas corrosion. There's 3 guys in New Jersey watching this thinking that guy doesn't know corrosion. Now that we got the little secret here with the big gun and the box wrench, let's go get the other side. Hit these with a little juice on this side here, since we were having a little bit of A little bit of a fit on the other side, but we're just gonna go right for the zip action, see if we can break a bolt and really make it stay in. All right, that's the easy way to do it. Should have been doing it the easy way earlier. There we go. Here's a little recap. We undid the sway bar, we got that out of the way. Both sides flipped up. Then we undid both of the 15 millimeter setups on both sides of the shocks down here. Now, if you look closely, here's the top. This is one of the 3 bolts that we need to get from the top, or the nuts that go into these studs. We're gonna start loosening these up at the top. We're gonna leave this one a little bit in here. We'll probably finish loosening this one from the bottom, but for right now, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing pulled out. You will see right down here, here are your 3 bolts for the top of this shock strut unit. One of them has this little plastic guy on it that's kind of just a cord management scenario. So then what we're gonna do is just kind of pull that off. I tried to use a trim tool on it. It worked better to just pull it off. We're gonna slide that over here. We're gonna remember that we need to move it back. So we're gonna take the 2 of these that are closest to the motor off. So I've got an 18 millimeter plus 3 extensions. Just try to reach down there to make this easy. Oh, and it's not too tight, it's moving. So again, guys, we're using the 3 old extensions and just trying to get this loosened, and they're not tight. I'm gonna go get our little helper here. And then I think I can reach in here like this, and there's 1. And there's 2. And the third one, you gotta go around a little air conditioning line, and there it goes. That's the one we're gonna leave kind of on. I wanna loosen just a little bit. Okay, number 3 is still attached, guys. So now we're gonna come back down here to the bottom. Quick recap. We took off 2 of the 3 and we left this last one still with just a couple of spins of the thread on there. Now what we got to do is we take our little pry bar. We're just going to kind of gently push this like this. And once it gets past our suspension, it's going to, I'm assuming, expand the rest of the way down. There you go. You see it released our suspension up, and there's not a lot to expand on that one down. So now we can come up here to the top, and without pinching our fingers, we're going to loosen this. Okay, so now we're off, and the shock and strut is going to come down and then immediately out like this. You can see this thing is junkified. All right, friends, you guys remember this is straight off of Amazon. You know what? Honestly, I've had some really good luck with these guys at Detroit Axle. Now, make no mistake, this is not Detroit in Michigan. This is Detroit, small manufacturing community outside of Beijing. But their stuff has been pretty good, and I've been happy with it for the low-cost version on my old truck. I hope it does, because we're in trouble if it doesn't. All right, I'll tell you right now, it looks like it matches. I'll tell you right now, this looks like some cheesy, small 15 millimeter hardware, when the stuff that we've got we know is 18. It does come with some new bolts for the bottom though too, and so that's good. Thinking we're probably going to be in business here. So remember, we have a triangle pattern up top, and it's 1 and then 2 close to the motor. So 1 outside and 2 close to the motor. And then on the bottom, we've got to have our feet kind of running front to back orientation for the truck, because that's how it's going to sit in this suspension when we get it into place. So the way we're going to do this is just the way we pulled it out. We're going to go in through the top and down past and then up, and then we're going to catch this bolt. We're going to make sure this existing bolt, which is a little heavier duty than the one that they sent with it, remember, outside and parallel, and we're going to come in and over the top, and then we got our 3 holes. See what I'm doing there? Oh, look at that, it's even going to sit in there just like that. We're going to get the nuts started right here, because I can reach it if I just kind of move the plastic out of the way. So then we got got that. We got the bottom. Can you see where we're lining up on the bottom there? We're all lined up the way we need to be. So guys, I'm thinking this new hardware they gave us was 15 millimeter hardware for the top here. And the ones that we've got are some pretty heavy duty 18 millimeters. I mean, I don't know. What do we think? New or reuse? What's a guy to do? Okay guys, I decided I'm gonna stick with the original truck bolts here, and I'm just gonna put these in very loosely fitting on the bottom. And we're just gonna remember the way that these were, was the bolt was on the bottom and the nut was on the top. And I'm just gonna loosely fit these right here because I don't want to get anything in a bind when we're going and tightening up on the top. Okay guys, we're just gonna tighten these back up here. We'll torque them down here in a second, but for now, let's just get them kind of in the spot here. We got all three of them in and they're tightened up. We're gonna torque them down. I tell you, torque spec was a lot lighter than you thought it was. I watched a guy do a video on it and he said it was like 37 or 38 or something. It's just not crazy. If you're super worried about torque specs, I would go ahead and look it up, but boop, boop, boop. Okay, so I think we got the top pretty dang good there on this one. Let's go and get these bottoms in. We're back with the old 15 millimeter here. I'm gonna use the cheater here for a second, just to get it going, and then we'll torque it down when we get just like that. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. There we go. All right guys, we're down here just kind of tightening this up. Again, if you're a guy who likes torque specs, look it up. I just figure I want that thing tight. I don't want it going anywhere. Okay, that's it. All right, let's go get the other side. Okay, friends, so I should have shown you guys this one first because it's way easier to see over here. There's not as much stuff in the way. You have to pull off the little plastic here, which I kind of pre-loosened them. You got to work them a little bit. This is disintegrating, by the way. I should fix that while I'm here. Kind of get this out of the way because you don't want to mess that up. We're going to start with the two that are closest to the motor. Could probably get away with one less extension on this one because it is easy to reach. And we're just going to get it started and then we'll hit it with the zipper here in a second. And then this one, same thing. Let's get this last one loosened. Remember, you don't want to take this one that's closest to the fender. You don't want to take that one all the way off because that's what's going to hold us on when we decide to loosen everything. Let's get the two closest to the motor off. So we're going to grab that right there. We're going to bring these to the bottom because when we reinstall, we're going to do it from the bottom. I'm going to use the crowbar to just kind of get us pushed off the edge there. There we go. And then it's going to try to fall on you. And again, you just let it fall and then pull it up, just being mindful of your brake lines and everything. Just get it out of there like that. That's it. All right, guys, we're going to take off these little 15 millimeters that we got here. We got to have the top of the triangle aimed towards us so that the bottom is straight with the vehicle. We're going to pull this guy up like this and put it back in like said. Get it up in the holes and get at least one of these going here so that it doesn't fall out on us. I think we can get the other two started just like this, like we did on the other side. Get this last one started. Now, let's get everything lined up here. All right, friends, so we're gonna do this just like we did the other ones. We're gonna come from the bottom. Bolt comes from the bottom to the top. Okay, here we are back at the top. Again, if you're coming to a website called Fix It With Beer looking for torque specs, you know, maybe you should reevaluate your life choices. But I think it's like 42. I think it's about 3. About like that. All right, that's pretty dang good, I think. All right, friends. Well, we fought with the cheesy hardware that came with it a couple of times. I decided to go back to the original hardware, and we're just torquing it down. I just went back to the original because, honestly, my tools were just working better that way. It's good enough for what we're doing here today, guys. We got to get this sway bar back in business. So you'll remember this guy right here. The kit is like an extra 20 bucks with new ones of these. You got to take them off anyway, guys. You might as well replace them. I wish I would have done it. I wasn't thinking. So basically what you do is you go like this, guys. It starts from the bottom. So you go flat washer, cushion, bushing, and then you go through here. So then you got cushion, and then you got washer, and then you got tube, followed by washer, then cushion, then sway bar, then you got this long, that's the threaded thing. We may throw some WD-40 in there just because this thing fought a little bit on the way up. And we get a little juice in there. And then we're gonna hit this right here, and it kind of sinks down in the thing. And then we just start screwing it in. So we're leaving it kind of loose here. We're gonna go to get the other side buttoned up because the sway bar is connected. So you gotta have a little bit of slack because we gotta squeeze that guy in on the other side, but this thing's gotta move up and down a little bit. We remember we have the bolt, then we have the washer, then we have the bushing with the metal piece attached to it, sort of. That's gonna come up through the bottom. Now, another rubber guy, and then a washer, and then we need our tube, and then after our tube, we need a washer, and then we need the rubber guy. I almost rolled to New Mexico. Then, after we get that underneath there, we gotta get this all meshed down. And then the top comes the threaded piece. And then that all kind of fits down into the deal. Let's go tighten the other side down. You know, if I did this stuff every day, guys, I'd be a lot better at it. There we go. I'm gonna slam the wheels back on. Be back in just a minute. All right, friends, we got the wheels back on. We're gonna drop her down here. It's kind of getting the sequencing down. You gotta be careful with that sway bar sequence. You can't tighten that thing down. You have to get them both kind of set in place and then tighten them down. You can't tighten one side down and then go back and put the other one in. You can do this. I'm only this good, and I was able to get it done, so you can get it done too. Hey, if the video helped you out, hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon. Goodness. These 18 millimeters, he's in here